can set up different types of arm bars and triangles and whatever else. But what I'll also do early on in a match or a roll is, if Colin places his hand down here and I go to threaten him with more and he pulls his hand out, he's going to be hesitant now to bring that hand down low. So what that's going to allow me to do is, I'm going to get under and I get to here and I flare my elbow. If he tries to push me now, watch what we're going to do. The more he drives in, the better this is for me to get him into my leg lock stuff. Alright, so to kind of break that down a little bit better for you. What I'm looking to do is to keep him away, and eventually when he starts pushing in, that's when that suits me here. So I'm taking an underhook on the leg. It's kind of like a false grip. I'm using the wrist and the hand. I'm cupping the lat and flaring the elbow. So if he tries to push me now, it's very hard. So I keep my knees pinched. I bring him up, and once I get his hands to the floor, I kick. I have two choices. All right, I keep my knees pinched. I pummel through with one leg, with the second leg, or maybe if I find that I just can't reach it, got a single leg X on this side, and then we might come back into a reverse X stuff from there.
And say when you're going for that under a sweep underneath, or you go underneath his leg.
Yeah.
Say oftentimes happens to me where someone just crushes your arm and tries to just sit on you.
Sit on the arm. Yeah. Yeah.
And then you get trapped there, and sometimes end up passing, especially with Colin. Colin will just sit on you and pass.
Yeah. Like so.
I say I'm there, yeah, and then he sits heavy. And you don't even have to have process. Sometimes you sit in your butt, yeah. And sometimes I get trapped here.
Much of a problem. What I would say to you is, right, if I just take that arm, I try setting up with both frames, top frame and a low frame. So I kind of like the frame here. I can also get the entry like from here, right? But against a really good opponent, he'll kind of cross face you here. So that's why I like to swim under the cross face and flare these elbows. So even if he tries to sit back now, yeah, it should be very hard for him. So that grip there is kind of like the key. Like I said, trying to time it right and swim under. So when my head's under and flare that elbow. Even if he tries to come back now, it should be very hard, alright? We have different choices. If I can't get his weight onto the hands, then we can like literally just start coming through this side and everything else. With the knee shield guard, I like to play a few different things off it, right? I'd like to come under for that leg lock position there. This is just going to give you a general idea, right? Another little thing I like to teach is if he takes like a low underhook, here, there's a couple of things I can do with it. I always like to threaten with the kind of mirror lock. See where I turn, say, his elbow, so I'm kind of not getting there on the nose. It's gone deep. See that one there, yeah? And what that'll do is I'll either get the tap, or again, I'm getting him to kind of pull away if I get close. So you start to pull that way, here, and then I can start to come to here. If he does decide to come in deep with the underhook, we take a whizzer, and then we can start setting up triangles. So it's literally like, I play like leg locks for me, shields, like I say, Kimura trap stuff, and triangle setups. So kind of I'm doing a good bit of stuff, and then like the triangles a nice one. So, yeah, if he's a deep underhook, I'm just going to take a whizzer and I cut the inside of my thigh. The trick here is to open your elbow in your hand. For me to make space, see the way my head's close to Colin's? I'm starting to go back on my elbow, right? But that's not just enough because Colin can posture up. So what I want to do is I turn my left shoulder down to get weight onto his left hand. I bring my right knee up to my chest. Once I cleared my foot over the line of the shoulder, what's the way I switch my overhook to pull him in and start setting up the triangle there. So, does that give you a few?
Yeah, 100%.
Probably should have done the seminar on that stuff. Probably all think it. Next time should we do something like that. Any other questions from?
Just,
no?
One hand more.
Yeah.
Say you would do one side control.
Yeah. You can do it from. I do it from side control. I do it from half guard, right? What I kind of like to do is, like, if I'm in this, I like to pass the half guard actually, like in a reverse half guard type of position, right? And the reason for that is, just say if Colin's like a really good, like say, like deep half, or he's good at playing just half guard bottom game. That's his game. As soon as I start passing this way, this is what I kind of believe is I'm now kind of throwing a spanner in the works in his position, right? Normally, for Colin to maybe clock up his 10,000 hours, more than likely in this position, he's going to be used to me passing this way. So as soon as I start switching, I kind of throw a spanner in the works. And another little example of that would be, I kind of get my lads to pass the close guard always from standing, right? Because if you're, like say, against an opponent, right, just say Colin has like a very good triangle, or he's able to play like a close guard on the side, or maybe a high close guard, or whatever else. He's clocked up the hours with me on my knees, and maybe me trying to pass here and Colin in this position. As soon as I start standing, this is a different position. So against any good kind of top, kind of close guard players, I'd say start standing. But kind of going back to your first question, when we come to here, I know that Colin's going to look to get like an underhook, and he's going to look to try and come up on top. So I have to stop that, right? So what I'm going to stop that is I block, and I start to bring his elbow up to the line of his shoulder here. See the way his elbow's in line with the shoulder? I feed my hand through and I pin. And we start to bring the elbow up even more. Sorry. I grip, flex the hand, and we come to here. Alright, so now you can either do from side control, you can do from half guard. So Colin locks up his half guard. Should be very hard for him to take this out. You try to take that hand out. Yeah, it's very hard. What I want to do is I go palm facing down and make my elbow go down. If I raise my elbow, sometimes lads can kind of swim their right hand through and grab my forearm. You know, if you go around the other way. Yeah, see the way it's kind of doing this stuff. So the trick for you is, instead of going this way, come here. Hip escape, come to here, I block the hip, and I start to go here, or what you can do is you can start coming into more trap stuff and start taking it back from there. But it's kind of, so from half guard I kind of like to sit here, bring the elbow up past the line of the shoulder, grip the forearm, flex the hand, and then we go from here. And I can use this to, I can do whatever I want now from here. I can like start to sit him up and bring this behind, or we can just switch back to two-handed, more of it. If you want to do that, so there's loads of stuff that you can do.
And do you find it stronger holding the hand than holding the wrist?
Yeah, I do, yeah. It's something that I've been doing maybe the last year or something like that, and I find just if I can flex the hand like that, I'm kind of getting it in a lot more positions. Obviously against like say like a strong opponent, what I might do is grip the hand, free my legs, do whatever I have to do, and then I might go back to like your regular kind of figure four or Kimura, that type of thing. So, any other questions or?